a little more than a week away until Election Day. And both candidates are racing towards the finish.
Hello, Las Vegas. We love you, Las Vegas.
Former President Trump holding a rally at Madison Square Garden tonight.
But we are going to win New York.
Even though the latest statewide New York poll suggests he's trailing by almost 20 points.
New York is Trump!
The Trump campaign hoping to at least energize nearby suburban voters in key House races. Republicans trying to hold on to a slim majority.
Maybe he really needs to spend his time with suburban moderate voters, tweaking that message about what they really care about on their quality of life issues.
In the final days, candidates crisscrossed the country. Vice President Harris held a rally in deep red Texas Friday.
The brink of history.
Headlined by Beyonce for reproductive rights, an issue Harris hopes will lure women.
One does not have to abandon their faith or deeply held beliefs to agree. The government should not be telling her what to do with her body.
The vice president targeted battleground Michigan too, deploying former President Obama and rapper Eminem.
But on the surface, I look calm and ready. We are ready for a President Kamala Harris.
Both Trump and Harris targeting the very small pool of undecided voters. The Trump campaign telling the New York Times it estimates only about 5% of voters remain undecided, classifying them as younger, more racially diverse, with lower incomes.
Well, I think these people work hard. They're great. And I just saw something, a process that's beautiful.
There's something not just nuts, but cruel about a billionaire using people's livelihood as a political prop.
The Harris campaign believes it can win over white college-educated voters, particularly women who historically have voted Republican, who are now repulsed by Trump.
The vast majority of us have so much more in common than what separates us. And I think that the American people deserve to have a president who is grounded in what is common sense.
I think Kamala Harris legitimately is a crazy person. I mean, to the extent that she has any ideas, any original thoughts about how to govern this country, I think it's a disaster.
In the final days, with millions already voting, both candidates are hoping to turn out their base.
This election is a choice between whether we will have 4 more years of incompetence, failure, and disaster, or whether we will begin the 4 greatest years in the history of our country.
It's either Donald Trump in there stewing over his enemies list, or me working for you, checking off my to-do list.
Taking a live look inside the Garden right now, where a whole list of speakers will be making appearances throughout the day. Those speakers include running mate J.D. Vance. We will also expect to hear from Dana White from the UFC, House Speaker Mike Johnson, Tucker Carlson of former media fame, as well as Elise Stefanik.